Well, it's another day. Let's see, it's 7:26 on November 16th. I guess I'm gonna try to post one of these every day just to follow my recovery. So it's again nothing today. Just weed, just a little bit of weed. I just smoked a little bit before. And my exciting day consisted of going to the center, getting the paperwork for the eviction. I'm going to go through a little bit of it tonight, and then tomorrow I'm actually having an appointment at 10 a.m. with a lawyer to look through it. I figured, why not? See what he says. See if I got a chance. If I got a chance, if I don't have a chance in hell, I'll just pack it up and go. If not, I'm going to fight it because I don't want to lose the center. So I don't want to lose the center that I've been in for 5 years. I'm not going to have somebody push me out. So. And, then I did a whole bunch of laundry. I got some heavy stuff because it got cold. I did some heavy stuff, right? I needed like heavier shirts, not just t-shirts. So I got some of those from the center and I brought them to the laundry with some other stuff that I had. I just did laundry and I'd wasted 2 hours. Cleaned up the room a little bit. Again, these are all things that I would be doing at a rehab center, except for the groups, right? And the groups consist of talking to people that have the same problems and listening to their problems and associating yourself with them. And I've done that a lot in my life. I did that every day as a sound healer. So, I can just make up people to talk to if I really need to at this point. I'll just talk to whatever is coming into my head. So that's about it. Now I have a whole bag of laundry I have to fold and put away. I bought some more stuff. I just noticed that I finally got my the hotel bills hitting my credit cards, and now I'm like really did I really spend that much on hotels? I guess I did. It goes more a little bit of the savings that I have left. I'm not complaining. It's the way it is. I'm just putting it out there on video because I don't know what else to talk to. Nobody else wants to talk to me like this. Everybody wants to point fingers at me and send me to a fucking to a place where they're gonna imprison me for 21 days and I'm supposed to pay for that, right? And I'm supposed to pay for them. Think of it is too. You pulled away from the environment, you put it in a place because you got to get away from the environment where you're doing this because there's triggers all around. So we're going to put you in a place so you can, for 21 days where you can be away from them and then work on, dealing with those triggers. And then so when you go back, you see those triggers, you feel pain, and that pain, that no, it's a trigger, so I can't go that way. Right? So that's what the rehabs did for me, at least the ones that I've been to. Thing of it is that after a while, that pain goes away and gets overwritten by your environment and the other shit that's happening around you. And then if the triggers are never dealt with, you just go back, and the triggers are there, and boom, and you go right back to the thing that's that's brought you there in the first place. So in this instance, I'm still in the area where all the triggers are. As soon as I could, and I have a few days, but as soon as I can tell myself that, these triggers that are around, that are coming up. All right, okay, I'm going to tell the truth. Not a few days. Yesterday I did some of the thing that brought me down, and today I'm good. And today is going to be the start. Like I said, every day is going to be the start. So this is day one of my recovery, right? So, those triggers are always there. So if I can somehow override those triggers and, get myself back to, the place on TV, I got to get up tomorrow at 10 a.m. and go talk to the lawyer. I know whatever, I got to be at the lawyer's office at 10 o'clock. I got to be at the center because, I went to the center today and mysteriously again, this toilet is haunted. At the center because it's had so many problems, and I fixed it twice, and then the last time the landlord, after I told him, he for some reason he rushed the plumber there right away, maybe because he doesn't want to be held when we go to court, and saying that he's not fixing things, because there's a lot of things like that air conditioning in the back is just covered with garbage all around it. It's never covered. I'm not sure what's going in there. The vents, whether or not they're emanating like toxins, there's black stuff around those vents. From what? I mean, if it's going into a filter, the air's going into a filter first, coming out, and the stuff coming through those vents should be, maybe those vents need to be cleaned. Maybe something else. So although these are all little things that I'm gonna hopefully talk to the lawyer tomorrow about it, and see if we can, rectify some of the things that haven't been happening there, even though I've complained about them. But yes, so the toilet, all of a sudden it's leaking from the bottom, from where you shut off the water, and then from the side where it's leaking onto the hardwood floor. I haven't been there in a few days, so I noticed it today. I was like, oh wow. So I texted him. He said, oh, I have a plumber call there tomorrow. The thing of it is that the plumber last time he came, and I told him it was leaking, and so he either didn't fix it, and I said, oh yeah, I'll fix it. So he didn't fix it, right? Which, okay, maybe he made a mistake. Or after he fixed it, somebody came in and sabotaged that. Now, again, I want to say I'm perfectly straight right now, and I don't have any like crazy notions in my mind about anything. I'm not making up stuff, but the reality is that the toilet did break again. 2 places it's leaking now. From the last time the plumber came and said he fixed everything. So, I didn't hire the plumber. The landlord did so. So let him, deal with it at this point. So these triggers that are around, all around, if you don't end up facing them and overcoming them and saying, okay, I can't do that because I'd like to, because that's bringing me, to a place where, hey man, I feel like I'm at home. Sorry. That's the reality of it. Maybe not during, but maybe afterwards I do. Well, sometime at one point when I made those videos, I was feeling an energy that I don't feel right now. Maybe if I practice a lot of yoga and meditation for hours and hours and hours a day for 20 years, I will. But that's the human experience, right? But one interesting thing, and this is going to be a short one. It's not going to be long. One interesting thing though the reason I posted that video from Alice in Chains Wood, because if you listen to it, the lyrics are talking about, if I could, would you? In other words, if I stop my addiction, will you? Right? And you're saying, oh, I don't have any addictions, buddy. Yeah, we do. We have the one addiction that every human being that's brought into this planet is forced into is money. Right? Money is an inorganic thing that doesn't represent anything on this planet, anything that any other species of animal like us, when it's another species of animal on this planet, use. So it is our advanced culture that we have this thing that we're all addicted to, and it slaves us. Addicted to. I mean, nobody can live without money. If you do, then you're begging and stealing, and you end up getting in prison, and then you're fed food for. I mean, it's the thing. What they do in prison, they should do for everybody. Everybody should be doing for everybody, but in prison they get paid for it, right? To keep people in there and just try to keep them all together. But that in a civil, open-minded way, which feeding everybody home, giving everybody a home, giving a place to experience what they need to experience in this lifetime, the right way. Nobody will convince me that what we experience in this lifetime is the right way. No, it is not. It is man's way. If you look around you, nothing else experiences what we experience. It is what we do. What we do as human beings to each other and to the other animals and to the planet itself that has graciously allowed us to live here. Those are the things. Those are the things that we forget about, and then we say that money is more important. So, if I could, right, overcome my addiction, would you overcome yours? And I don't care what addiction you have. The only one that I care about is addiction to money. Because if everybody overcame their addiction to money, guess what? We will probably have a heaven on earth. We will probably have a civilization that is taking care of each other instead of, forcing each other into places where, I already owe $15,000 to Monmouth and Jersey Shore for stuff that my insurance didn't pay. Okay? Mental health treatment that I was supposed to get, I was supposed to get forced on by a judge that I never saw, who had somehow ruling power over me because 3 police officers and a nurse came over to my place and said that I should go there. So $15,000 I owe those institutions, right? Imagine how much I'm going to, this is for like 24 days. How much more I'm going to owe to whatever rehab center that my insurance is only going to cover a certain amount of, because they're going to say, oh, this is overpriced. What did you charge them? How much for a bed? And how much is, oh, it's very important. Whatever it is. So that's going to be, $25,000. That's what I got in the bank left, man. That's going to go, everything's going to go to the medical thing that's supposed to have fixed me. And I guarantee you, 21 days in that place, I'm going to come out and I'm not going to believe anything they said to me, anything you say to me, or anything in the society says to me. You know why? Because everything in the society is based on the one thing that is corrupting everything in the society. The society follows money. Society is based on money. The society has money. There was another song I just heard. If you think you don't need money, try living without it. Right? Honestly, because you do. Eventually, I'm not going to have anything, and I'm either going to be in a homeless shelter or somewhere else before that. But whatever it is, this is what. So, if I could overcome my addiction, would you? And if you say no because that's impossible, that's not reasonable, you can't say that because that's not an addiction, think about it. Think about it. The addict that can't live out without that drug one day, so he has to be forced into a rehab. The human being that cannot live without money for one day. Sure, children can because their parents have the money to give them, but if and pay for them. But if the parents didn't have it, they would be put into a system that doesn't care for them, some kind of orphanage or whatever it is that they put kids now into, or into a foster home. So every human being has to be addicted to money. That is the one thing that I left out from those other 2 videos about addiction that I just dawned on me today. It's like every human being, and you know what? That money is killing them. It is killing them more than any drug, right? Anything in this world, any disease. It is the lack of money that will not give you the cure. It is making the cure for something too expensive. That's gonna kill us. That is killing us. It is the lack of money that we need for the proper, because the proper treatment is so expensive. So it only helps the rich, and even at one point, the rich can't even afford it, can't even get it because it's too expensive to find the cure. So every human being is addicted to money, and don't make it. Oh yeah, okay, that's what he said, but he's just making excuses again because of his addiction. And you see, this is what he does. Every human being is addicted to money, and it is killing. Because of war, because of greed, because of being stolen, because of protection, because of everything that is around here. And we have to deal with every day as human beings is caused by that thing that every human being is addicted to. Okay, pointing, yes, I'm pointing. You point that finger at me, buddy. Don't you be pointing that finger at me. So that's why I posted that song, because that song really represents somebody saying, of course, because the lead singer of Alice in Chains died of a heroin, I believe, of either heroin overdose or he ended up committing suicide. One of the two. I can't remember now. Chris Cornell too. Now, the thing of it is, I'm sure that song represented, if I could do what you wanted me to do, would you take me back? Probably in a relationship, or even just someone owning his own addiction. Would if I overcame my addiction, would you then overcome whatever addiction that you have, and then maybe, or would you take me back and love me again? But the way I meant it and posted it is that if I could overcome this addiction, right? that you believe I have. I don't. I think everything in life is an addiction. So I'm like, whatever. If everybody wants to believe, make me believe that I have an addiction. That's fine. I have an addiction, and I will clean myself up for 2 weeks. You know. In the meantime, I do have to deal with the center and everything that's going to come up legally for it. So I whatever. But if I could, would you? And if every human being on this planet, less those 1,500, and maybe more, some of the 750 million middle class that don't want any of this to go away, because they like their status on that pyramid. If those other 7 billion poor that represent holding up that pyramid, if they could, then we all would benefit from the fact that we no longer have to live in this stressful environment where every day we have to wake up and try to figure out what it is that we need to do to have enough money to survive. In the case of addiction, you have to do everything you can to have enough money to buy the drug, right? But it's the same thing. It's all about having that money to buy that thing, or having that money just to live. So, that's my message for tonight. Everyone have a wonderful night. I'm going to be folding up my clothes now, smoking a little bit more weed, listening to some music, and then falling asleep. Good night, everybody. Have a good night, and enjoy the festivities, whatever they may be.